just wanted to go through back to our roots, really. Been shooting with air rifles about 30 years now, hunting with air rifles since I was about 12 or 13. I was lucky enough to have permission on a farm. Rabbits, pigeons, crows, magpies, rats. So yeah, today I just thought we'd have a look at the stuff that now, what we've got to with 30 years behind me of what kit I use, what guns we've got, maybe a bit about just pellet placement on what you want to shoot. So, used to have spring air rifles before, BSA Stutzen. We used to have a 177. We moved up to, we've had Superstars, Virac, 57s, the 97K. We've had all them spring air rifles. Great guns, but since the introduction of PCPs, we've totally changed air rifle shooting for me and hunting. Just being able to make sure that you're actually shooting and killing near enough everything. There's no error with these guns apart from you. You know, you're the shooters. If any of you hunt with springers, keep doing it, but I seriously recommend you have a look at getting a PCP air rifle. The amount of times where when I was younger and would miss with a springer with that recoil, heavy, and now it's just unbelievable. You can put pellet on pellet on pellet on a target. So just want to talk to you a bit about these guns that we've got now. So the first one that we've got here is a Harrier X. I bought that about 10 or 15 years ago. It's just an immense bit of kit. Daystate, they've been around for a while now. So what we've got is a 2.2 Daystate Harrier X. I've recently put bipod on it, which again only took sort of 10-15 minutes. Bought that off eBay again just to fit, again so that I could try and show you. I'm trying to find a new scope extension so that I can mount the camera on the scope so you can get some footage of us shooting anything down there. Yeah, brilliant gun. Before that I had a Falcon FN19, but it was only a single shot. This is a 10-shot magazine, like I say, 2.2. Probably just runs under just 12 foot-pounds. Brilliant air rifle, brilliant bit of kit for rabbiting, pigeoning, crows, everything. So we tend to stick to 2.2s. I've had 177s in the past. I would say if you predominantly do go pigeon shooting and you want to try something, then use a 177. Flat trajectory of your pellet. Other thing is, when we used to shoot rabbits with 177s, we found it used to go through them a bit too quick, so it didn't have that instant sort of kill. So because of that, we went back to 2.2s. We've had Air Arms S200s, and then say when I was a lad, obviously Theoban were the go-to guns. I've never been able to afford a Theoban, and then things changed and bits and bobs. So, but my first proper decent PCP I ever bought was this Harrier X. Really good. So moving on from that, the other gun that I've got here, which again is just, they've been around for a few years now. Well, probably what, 10 or 15 years. Air Arms S410, 10-shot magazine again, 2.2. This is the carbine silencer. The good thing with this, it's got a gauge. That was the only thing that with the Daystate hasn't got a gauge on it. So you sort of know that you're going to get 60-70 shots out of it, and then you've got to pump it up. But yeah, no gauge on this. But yeah, the Air Arms, for the sort of money now that you can get these for second hand, you probably get them between three to four, maybe 500 quid if it's absolutely mint, and then brand new you're probably looking at £600-700. It's got a few scratches on it from use and that now, but these again, from the air rifles I've used, the reason we've got these is because they're just absolutely brilliant. So that is what we've got to show you there. The Air Arms 410 2.2 and the Harrier X Daystate 2.2 air rifles, both 10-shot magazines, both in 2.2. So that is what we've ended up using now for the past 10 or 15 years, these air rifles. Used to have another one in 177 again. Like I say, 177 is fine for your hunting, but I'd just always go back to a 2.2. Pigeon shooting. Obviously, when you get a pigeon sat in a tree, anything like that, just a few hints and tips to make sure you kill your bird. So the front of the bird, obviously you've got your breastbone that runs down the middle of it. So always don't aim bang on in the middle. You need to come to one side, because if your pellet hits that breastbone, it's not going to penetrate and go all the way through to vital organs. If you're shooting at pigeons, I won't go for a headshot at all. Again, they're bobbing about, they're moving and everything, so either straight in the breast area, either side, try not to aim down the middle, or the best shot that I've found really to make sure you totally dispatch your pigeon is actually in the back. There's no muscle or tissue, you're just straight through into the vital organs. But you know how a pigeon flaps, that's basically the muscle in those pigeon breasts. Other thing, if a pigeon sat in a tree and you're looking through your scope up at the pigeon, I would always aim lower than you think, and that's again to do with the trajectory of your pellet. When you set it up, your pellet is arcing and going down. As you fire up, your pellet comes out slightly and then it's arcing the same way because of how you set your scope up. So a lot of the time, your pellet, if you don't aim low enough, your pellet can come up the front of the bird and miss it. If you're stood directly under a pigeon in a tree, even slightly to one side. So aim a little bit lower and you'll have a lot more success rate at stud shooting pigeons with air rifles. So that's my little tip for shooting wood pigeons. Scopes. Make sure you spend your money on your scopes as well, because the air arms has got a Nico Sterling. That's a 4x16x44 on that one. On this one, it's a Hawk Eclipse 4x16x50, and again, make sure you get decent mounts when you're buying them as well. Add any little bits of extras on that you need to. As you can see on this one, we've put a strap on it, 2 swivels that we've fitted ourselves. Just make sure you've got your right drill bits and everything. Try and get it as central as possible, but measure up, make sure that you're doing it right. Bipod, when we fitted the bipod on this, you basically need a front swivel to put a bipod on these. These bipods are only $14.99 on eBay, so it extends out so that you can quite happily have a good steady surface, or if there is something to lean on or anything to put your bipod onto. Same with putting your bipod down on the ground, just gives you that bit of steadiness if you're laid down shooting. But yeah, your swivel basically goes in and there's a clamp either side, and you unscrew this section here, goes into that piece, and you screw it back up tight, so it's not actually nipping, it doesn't damage your wood, it just nips onto that front swivel. So that's and I've only just fitted this, and say it's surprising how much steadier your shooting will be. Two pellets. I don't know how much attention you take with your pellets. A lot of people I've noticed just open a tin of pellets, get them out, put them straight in. Nobody ever checks pellets. You need to check your skirts on your pellets. Open a tin of pellets, go through it, make sure you're picking out full size, the skirt's intact, no squished ones. Again, if you put them in your pocket, they're just going to get squished. Ideally, if you are shooting with PCPs, recommend you get another magazine. Then you've got 2 magazines that you definitely know, and check them before you go out. So at the minute we're using JSB Max Diablo Hades pellets through this for hunting, and we've been using some of these Prometheus. Again, plastic skirts, again they don't get damaged in your pockets, so they're a bit more expensive, these pellets, but if you're going out properly to hunt, we need to give the animals the respect that they deserve and dispatch them cleanly. So the Harrier X, Daystate, Air Arms, S410, 4x40 scope on them. Again, make sure you get decent mounts. Silencers, both of these came fitted with factory silencers. Not had to add anything else to them. Accessories, make sure you get, you know, don't put anything on your rifle that you don't need. I've put that bipod on there because I'm planning to, like I say, try and set this up with a camera so we can get some shots at rabbits on film and make another shooting video. Right, so you've zeroed your scoping. Zeroing the scoping should take you 10 or 15 shots max to get your scope, get it all set up. Before you go out shooting, just check your zero. Only takes 5 minutes. Take your gun out, have a couple of points of it, make sure that you're happy where your scope's set. Then at least you know that when you get out shooting, you're not mucking about. Always do that. Same with just, you know, take the magazine out, check that you've got a full magazine in, make sure none of your pellets are deformed, and that's about it really for air rifles. So I'm just going to put the camera up the top, put a few pellets through, try and get it set up so you can see us plinking with it. So that's the Daystate Harrier X 2.2 at 30 yards. I missed a couple, but as you can see, it just shoots bang on. So when you go out hunting, just make sure you zero your rifle in and say 35 yards max. That's all you need. We've set ours up at about 30. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully we'll get some proper hunting videos on the way to you soon. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Grizzly Adam.